Before we do that, I think my other part of the story was to be a good sports person, because I always tell that you must know when to run away from things, and also when things do not come in your way, you need to take it very sportively. So I'm not saying that sport is the only activity you need to do. Probably you need to adopt to some hobby which actually gives you a lot of regeneration and energy, and it could be anything. So there is no audio there; it's only a clip and some messages I have given. Even in TCS, you need to teach on a continuous basis. So this was one of the times when I received the Best Trainer Award from the Senior Vice President, Dr. Nimal Jain. And this is one of the Women's Day where you have to tell how successful you are, even though you are a woman. And these are the I do a program for many of the engineering colleges, because every year I meet about 15,000 engineering students, and I go to more than about 60 colleges, and I also mentor the plus 2 students. There is a program by SRM, and there is a Tamil news daily called Dinamala. They have this plus 2 career counseling for students and the aspiring parents across all metros. So I always have a lot of fascinating experiences with the parents more than the students. So whenever I get a chance to talk to them, I spread a lot of messages about this IT career, the opportunities, because many of them, the first question they will ask is about recession. The second question they will ask about is how long are you going to grow, because every year we have been taking about 25,000 students. Last year we closed at 35,000. The previous year we took about 17,000 students from engineering institutions. They will always ask, Madam, when are you going to stop? I said, maybe till another 30 years we may not stop. So I don't think I would like to worry about it beyond that period. So, and somewhere I had to really conclude the question. So I always believe that this industry is going to definitely grow in an exponential manner, and this will be part of the growth story for India. And I'm sure that if you read a Tata story, that Tata's touch about 2.96% of India's GDP, and I'm sure you must have heard that this one figure has come down to 6.95%, right, the inflation rate. So in spite of all that, the GDP that Tata's touch is about 3%, and across 7 business areas, we are probably the largest business house. So, and TCS is definitely one of the crown jewels of Tata's, and I'm very happy to be part of it. And one thing I must tell you is that when growing from 1500 to 2 lakh plus was not anyway easy, and you really have to work hard to be part of a growth story. And unless you are a performer, you are not going to be part of it. And that is definitely true in any profession. And I sincerely believe that it is your own self initiation and enthusiasm that's going to fetch you all the things that you wanted to get. So I just thought that is that a distraction for you? I think that's the last one. I just thought I can probably go on and on with all my with my experiences in every project and every trip or every client whom I have met with. But I just thought I'll just stop here to probably entertain some questions, if you have some, and then make it more interactive, so that it will be useful for you if you want to discuss any specific questions. And thank you so much for a patient hearing. Thank you.
Hi. What are the main opportunities that you see in IT in an Indian context today?
Okay. India definitely is going to be the superpower with respect to IT, and many people predict that India and China, but I always think that China will take a long way. mainly because I told you the Indian talent is something where we can culturally align. Even TCS has got some delivery centers in Shanghai and Hangzhou, but when we go and meet them, and even though they work on technologies, but they are not able to be so open, and then they are not able to get the big picture. So I always think that the IT opportunities are going to be great, particularly when there is a prediction. Okay, whatever I'm saying is what I read along with you. There can be a further dip in terms of recession, but I think India and few other countries have converted the recession into a good opportunities, because when there is a recession, there is an operational efficiency improvement. There is more for less that you have to give. So which means that you need to deliver more for what you have as less as a budget. So which means that you need to really outsource. If you have to outsource, you need to offshore to get the cost arbitrage as well as the talent. So I still feel that the opportunities in the IT field will be top three. One will be the consulting space. The second will be the network stability and infrastructure, connectivity. And there will be a lot that will be talking. You will be talking about. You will not probably hear of servers hosting software. You will be probably hearing software being hosted probably in open sources elsewhere. So people will adopt to subscription billing or pay as you use kind of a thing, promoting the private and the public cloud opportunities to a very, very great extent. So there will be a lot of opportunity at a high level in the consulting space, in the and in the product space, and also in the infrastructure consolidation space. So, and definitely the other software is becoming more of a bread and butter which will run across, which will definitely be bulk, but the three areas which I talked about will definitely take a leading edge.
Could you qualify infrastructure consolidation a little more? What do you mean by?
Yeah, infrastructure consolidation. See, if you really look at, for example, Citi has acquired many banks. They acquired the cards portfolio of Sears. They acquired Bank of Banamex in Mexico. So what they do is when they consolidate the systems and they want to run it across fewer data centers, and they do not want to keep the entire data center for one client whom they have acquired. So they wanted to do internal systems and external systems consolidation and then migrate or converge to a system which is a system of choice. So they migrate the customers, the profiles and the systems, which itself means that the data centers are going to become obsolete. And they wanted to really consolidate and converge. So many of the times we always think that when there is a cost, the arbitrage, it's only on outsourcing of application. It is not so. There is so much that you can do with respect to infrastructure consolidation. And of course, because of the infrastructure consolidation, server consolidation comes in, network consolidation comes in, users can be profiled together, the customers can be profiled. You can encourage national banking, and all this will definitely bring in efficiency and then less cost for operating unit for any customer. We call it as a MOOS model, maintenance and operations of services and equipment. That's called MOOS. Sorry for the long answer to your short question.
Yeah, you said that to make people work more efficiently, don't just treat them as commodities who deliver goods, but then make them part of the bigger picture and see the bigger picture. But then when you have 250,000 employees and are taking 35,000 employees per year, how do you make sure they have good enough challenges to stay motivated, and how do you make all of them aware of the big picture?
Yeah. See, when you are an organization with 50 people, maybe you may be working in 3 projects, or you may be working maximum with 10 customers. But when you are working with a 240,000 employees, you will be working with say 1,200 customers. There must be 10,000 projects which are parallelly going on. And every project is like a doctor-patient relationship. For the project manager will be the owner, and all his associates will be the important stakeholders of his project. However the small the project is, however big the project is. You may be having a project with set of 5 people, or you may have projects like what we have delivered for MCA 21, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, with 350 people. So all are projects. But for each project, when it is subdivided into further modules and there is a owner, for him, his P&L, the profit and loss, his budget, his schedule, his delivery is of importance. Together it becomes a consolidated unit for the client. So even though the organization is growing, the processes, the standards and the framework and also the backbone is all the same. So even if TCS has to grow to 5 lakh people, still there will be customer centricity, the understanding customers pain areas. It will be still the delivery certainty, which is our utmost aim whenever we deliver goods to our customer. There will be knowledge, there will be innovation, there will be creativity. So I think it will be for each unit of work there will be all the things that will be there in the there as a complexion of the delivery. So even though the organization is growing, the people who perform at any level will be recognized. So for the people who in a 5-member team, if there is one trainee who has just joined and coming up with innovative ideas, he is going to be recognized. A project which is 350 people and there are 8 modules going on, every module which has got the best leaders, best technocrats or good architects or good designers or people who can become more of a customer contact persons, all these people are going to be identified and then they will be recognized. So the pyramid may be bulge in the middle, but as you grow, there will be on the top, there will be consolidation of the best performers. So it will always be the case in a large growing organization. Did I confuse you more? No.
Hello. My question is, you mentioned that initially you were a company of just 1,500 employees, which has now become about 2.5 lakh, and which will probably become maybe 4 or 5 lakhs in another 10 years. Now, in such a situation where the industry inherently is an IT services industry, you necessarily need to be client-centric.
Correct.
Now, how do you ensure that this organization of such a large scale doesn't become a bureaucratic behemoth? So, because also when you're recruiting, obviously, you need a certain scale of recruitment to maintain, the ongoing projects. So you cannot ensure kind of quality in every kind of candidate recruited. So how do you induct them so that that necessary culture builds up in the long?
I think
these are two related questions.
I will answer first part of the question. When the organization is growing to 2 lakh 50 or say 5 lakhs, I don't think there is a bureaucratic thing which is embedded there, mainly because you are empowered to execute and deliver whatever you are expected to do. So at any level, the unit owner, we call them as ISU heads, or the people who are like the CEO of that particular unit. Whether it is a banking, financial services, or whether it is retail or healthcare, the ISU head becomes the CEO of that unit, because he becomes responsible wherever he is with a set of, say, the 2 billion, which is going to be his revenue per quarter, that he is going to really go after it. So the consolidation of all the ISUs will become the CEO of the company. So when that is there, there will be a lot of horizontal structures which support the ISUs to function.